If you feel like your worth is attached to what you do, that you constantly have to prove yourself in order to feel worthy, in order to feel like you're enough, in order to feel like you're appreciated, then this is for you. It's important to understand that you are already whole and complete as you are. And you might don't believe that. Maybe you think to yourself like, nah, like I have to do something to prove myself. I have to do something to feel whole and complete. I have to do something to prove to other people that I'm worthy enough, that I'm man enough, that I'm woman enough. But if you stay in this mindset, nothing ever feels enough. And even if you get to the next thing, if you get better, then you still feel like something is missing. And this is what a lot of men struggle with, and what I've been struggling with for a long time. Because for a long time, I always felt like I have to prove myself. I have to prove something to my family, to my father, to my younger siblings, being the older brother who can take care of it, so that I don't end up like my older siblings, because I have siblings from both sides, and I wanted to be a different example to my younger siblings. Proving something to the world, that I am a successful person, that I'm being seen as a man, a real man, that I'm being seen as a go-getter, a high achiever, you know? And this is the message that you are being communicated a lot on the internet, especially by men who still carry these wounds with them. And I'm not saying that you should sit on your ass and just don't do nothing. I'm not saying that you should start to ignore your callings and ignore what you feel called to create in this world, and that you should have no discipline. No, that's not what it's about. It's about you appreciating yourself as you are right now and doing the work. And as you do the work, you know that you are perfect as the way you are right now. You are exactly how you're supposed to be, because that's the personal development trap, the performance trap, constantly trying to become a better version, but feeling like you're not enough right now. And if you stay in this feeling, if this stays your thought pattern, then nothing ever feels enough. And this is why so many successful people feel empty inside. This is why so many wealthy people are broke inside. They have a lot of money on the outside, but they feel empty inside, and they feel like nothing is enough. And I'm not saying that money is bad. I'm not saying that material success is bad. I'm not saying that being seen for what you do is bad. Many people that we admire have gone through this phase and cycle of suffering and struggling, and it's somehow a part of the human journey, I'd say. But there comes a point when you see it where it becomes a choice, where you say, okay, do I want to still see myself as inadequate? Do I still want to see myself as something weak unless I do this? Do I want to see myself as unworthy? Or do I want to acknowledge myself as I am right now and advance from this standpoint and start getting better from this standpoint, but honoring each step? Because as you know the saying, the journey is the goal. But many of us treat the goal as the goal and forget to enjoy the journey. And I recently had a conversation with a friend of mine who's an athlete. He's doing martial arts. He's very, very disciplined in his practice. He's a great musician as well. He's doing a lot of stuff, and we have a lot of stuff in common. He told me somehow he can't relax. Like he always feels like he has to do something, otherwise he feels like he's not worthy. And like this is a never-ending cycle, and it becomes exhausting. And I could so relate to him because I was in the same position. And I know a lot of people out there in the same position. And I told him the same thing I'm telling you right now. You have to get to the point, or you don't have to. It's a choice. But you can get to the point where you enjoy the journey, where you still keep your discipline up, where you still have a drive, but you don't act out of a feeling of inadequacy or like there's something lacking inside of you, but you act out of a feeling of feeling complete and joy and fun and enjoying it. Me, I'm still working out like an athlete. I'm running every day. I'm going to the gym almost every day. I'm also practicing jiu-jitsu. I'm doing these videos. There's discipline behind what I do. But I no longer do it out of the feeling of proving something to the world. I'm no longer doing it out of the feeling of showing how good I am or showing attaching my worth to that, because I know that it's not me doing this, it's what's coming through me, and I just allow that what comes from me, wants to come from me, to come from me, because we all are connected to this infinite intelligence, God, the universe, Allah, source, whatever you want to call it, and it wants to express something through you. And when you connect to that, there's an enormous amount of passion and it wants to be expressed and it puts you into action, but it's inspired action instead of forced action. You don't say, I got to do this so that I got to make this happen. You say, no. You set out the intention, or you receive the intention, and you say, okay, let me take action. This is fun. This is exciting. Let me put in the work so we can make this happen. So we bring it into reality. So I also don't agree with a lot of the manifestation woo-woo type of, I want to call it woo-woo, because there are things that can happen for you and the universe is always working for you. But I don't agree with the people who tell you, just relax and just lean back and don't do anything and ignore reality. It's all going to happen. Yeah, maybe if you're in a very heightened state of consciousness. But the problem with this is the most people who consume that then have a resistance towards action and hold themselves back from cooperating with their source to create what they want to manifest. And this has also been me for a long time, for quite some time. Not a long time, but a time where I had a shift, where I shifted out of this performance version to just, okay, let me just drift through life and let everything come to me. And then I realized, okay, like there has to be a balance. You have to take action and you have to trust and have faith and allow things to come your way. Because there's some things that you can't predict. You can't predict an injury. You can't predict an accident. You can't predict certain things that are just happening in this life. And the more you try to control it, the more you're suffering. But what you can do is you can always focus on what you can do right now, and you can always see that you are exactly where you are supposed to be right now, and you have the challenges that are here because they're here for you to grow right now. They're here for you to be experienced, so because they're part of your path, so that you can become all that you're destined to be. But not out of the feeling of I'm inadequate, I'm not enough. Because you come from a source that is whole and complete itself. It is greatness itself. It created galaxies. The same energy that created the entire universe created you, and it flows through you right now. So how can this not be enough? Out of all those sperm cells, you were the one that came through. So you came to this planet, you came to this earth being worthy. And it's just reminding ourselves that we're worthy. And guess what? When you're in that energy, I can tell you feel more. It's just more fun. And a fun thing that I also want to share with you. He told me there was some ChatGPT prompt out there where you ask the AI based on your conversation with it to tell you what TV character or movie character resembles with you the most. And his character was Prince Zuko from Avatar. And I was like, man, this is so accurate. But Prince Zuko is I don't know if you watched Avatar, The Last Airbender, but if you hear, I guess you're on the same frequency with that. If not, I can highly recommend it. It's not just for children. I watched it as a child, but I watched it again when I was older, and I was like, damn, this is powerful. A lot of wisdom in that series. But Prince Zuko was basically just the guy who constantly wanted to catch the Avatar. The Avatar was like the last one who could bring harmony into the world, balancing all the elements. And Prince Zuko went out and he wanted to chase the Avatar and bring him to his father, the Fire Lord, to gain approval, to gain respect back, because his father abandoned him. And he was always so stern and so rigid and so ultra focused on getting the Avatar. And he always felt like he's not enough unless he's doing that. And at some point he noticed, like, man, like this is, I'm not supposed to base my entire worth on that. And he started to question his beliefs. He started to question the entire agenda of the Fire Nation, who just caused destruction on the planet. And that is usually an awakening where you realize, okay, that we have in this human experience as well, where we realize, okay, like, what have I been doing? And why am I doing it this way? You start questioning your actions. You start questioning your reality and how you move through life. And when you come to this point, things start to shift. And he then started to become friends with the Avatar and wanted to help him on his mission to bring harmony to this planet. And when I put it in, the prompt into ChatGPT, it said I'm Uncle Iroh, or Uncle Iroh. In German it's Iroh. And his uncle was the guy who was more calm, who sipped tea and always dropped some wisdom. And he was also very strong, and he was also very, very smart and intelligent. But he learned that because in the series, his son died in the war, and then he realized, okay, what is all of this for? All of this suffering. Like, we are constantly fighting for something, constantly trying to get somewhere. And then we get to the end of our lives not knowing when it's going to end, and didn't enjoy any of it. And he didn't, in the series, he's like the fun, relaxed character who gets things done without getting things, without doing much, you know. There's also a saying in the Tao Te Ching, the Tao does nothing and yet leaves nothing undone. And just on a side note, but it's interesting to, especially with this Prince Zuko example, it's interesting to look into that, because a lot of times it's the father wound, because especially as men, you try to prove your worth to your father. You want to be accepted by your father. You want to be accepted and acknowledged by your father, and kind of like show to your father that you are also strong, that you also good, you know. And with women, it's usually with their mother. Can be different as well, but that's why a lot of this also goes back to our childhood in the past. But you don't have to linger in the past so long. It's just a realization that you are already worthy as you are, and you, of course, are going to expand and evolve and grow, because the universe is constantly expanding and you're part of the universe, and you're supposed to take action. You're supposed to do things that bring you joy. You're supposed to serve others with your gifts. That's what we're here for. But it's just a realization that you're whole and complete as you are right now. And when you move from this energy, then you move through life like Uncle Iroh or Uncle Iroh, enjoying the path, enjoying the journey, but still getting things done without forcing things, you know? And when you do that, you can create many things. You can achieve many things, but you're not attached to those achievements. And that's a very important point, that when you come from this energy, then you can have material success. Then you can have money, then you can have a house, then you can have a car, then you can have all of those things, but they are a byproduct of you being you. And when these things are gone, you don't feel attached to them, because you know it's not you, it's not your worth, you know? But if, on the other hand, you feel like you're only worthy if you have these things, if you have success, if you get recognition, and the recognition falls away, you feel like you're nothing. And even if you have it, there will always be the fear that it will go away. And then it always feels like you have to fight, like you have to run, like something is chasing you. Almost like a nightmare where you constantly have to be afraid that things are pulling you back. But when you realize that, again, you are exactly where you're supposed to be. You're whole and complete as you are. You don't have to let anyone out there tell you, oh, you're brokey, you have to make at least 10K a month, otherwise you're a little bitch, or whatever those people say. It's not my words, it's what a lot of people out there say. You don't listen to that. Because the problem with that is a lot of young men, also young, usually it's men, some men talking about this. The young men are then drawn to this message, and they then move out of this feeling of inadequacy. Then they build their income or their wealth starting some business, but they don't care about integrity. They don't care about their soul's truth. And a lot of times they are suffering. And like I said before, they're the ones who then pass on the same message. They talk about themselves negatively, like, oh, I was such a loser back then, and look at all of those losers out there. You have to get this done, you know. And then this is like a virus that's spreading. And behind this, there's always the fear of inadequacy. There's always the fear of not being enough. And I'm not telling you to not go out there and start making money and start doing things, but do it in alignment with who you are. Because there's a way for you to take your gifts to serve other people, and people will lovingly pay you for that. But that's another topic. But the main point is that you always got to come back to you, and got to honor yourself as you are right now. Be proud of the progress you've made already. Be proud of the journey you've taken. If you're not happy with something, you can use a little anger. You can use a little dissatisfaction to say, okay, like, I had enough of this. I'm pissed off with this situation. I can change it. But don't say I'm weak and I'm this and I'm you know, like, I'm loser and all of this stuff. Don't say that. Say, okay, this is how it used to be. Had enough. I've been bullshitting myself. I've been lying to myself. Now it's time to take action again, because the source within me wants me to express my greatness. That's all you need to know. But all of this, oh, I have to do this so that I'm worthy, so that people will honor me, so that people will see me as somebody special. Let go of it. And when you let go of it, it's going to come anyways. Because people feel your energy and they feel, okay, like he's He's just in his authenticity, and okay, I feel drawn to that, And the people who just loved you for what you did, they're gonna fall away. But those are not the people who loved you for who you truly are. Because people who love you for who you truly are, they will stay with you, and they will be there for you. If you're in a relationship, especially to the man out there, get yourself a woman who loves you for who you are. Because if you have a phase where things are not working out, she's the one who's gonna be there for you. If she's not, then it's not the right one. Doesn't mean that you should not to excuse it. Like if you're just doing all of this stuff where you're just wasting your time and not taking care of yourself, good. But if you're working on something and things are not working out perfectly, if you're building a new business or whatever, it's a process, and maybe you have to take a step back and all of a sudden don't earn as much money as before, and then this woman falls away because of that, because she only loved you for the money you had before. Then it exposes who she is. And same for men. Like it's not the same for women. Like this goes both hands. Find yourself a partner who loves you for who you are. And there's people out there who love you for who you are. It's not a relationship coaching right now, but it's also important. And also with friends, when you allow yourself to step into your authenticity, when you love yourself, when you honor yourself, when you know that you're whole and complete as you are, you will also attract people who honor you as you are, who love you for who you are, because you learn to honor yourself. And you don't feel like you have to constantly prove something to them. No, because that's not what it's about. And when you get into this consciousness, you're more aligned with your source. Things will start to flow for you. Things will start to happen for you, but it's a giving and not even a taking, giving and receiving. You're putting in the work, but at the same time it's working with you, and you acting from a state of wholeness, from being whole and complete, because that's what your source is, and you are part of the source. You are a spark of the source in human form right now, watching this, listening to this, and here to create magical things. We as human beings are one of the only beings who can use our imagination to create things consciously, The other beings on this planet, like the animals, they can't do that. They're also highly intelligent, but this is our power to bring something from our imagination to the outside world. We are also creators. Our creator, God, whatever you want to call it, created us to create. And when you align yourself with your source, with God, with universe, whatever you want to name it, and then create from that standpoint, knowing that you come from a source that's whole and complete, therefore I must be whole and complete, that's when the magic starts to unfold, and that's when the magic's going to happen. So please don't attach your worth to what you do. And if you do, then work on implementing those thoughts. Repeat the thought, I am whole and complete as I am, over and over again. Because when you do, it starts to become your belief. And another thing, there's often conflicting beliefs when you want to change that. And if you need help with this, I've also created something called the Root Pattern Decoder, which helps you exactly with that. It's like a tool that I've developed, so to say, or where I put my own flair to it. There's nothing new under the sun. That helps you to discover those hidden beliefs and then transform them into something positive. And also, if you have this belief, it will show you what's behind that. Because often there's like, if you say I'm whole and complete as I am, there will be a voice that says, no, you're not. Or when you say I'm whole and complete as I am, there's a voice that, no, I have to prove myself to be that, And when you start to see those thoughts, when you start to see those beliefs, you can uncover them, and so that they no longer have the power over you, no longer controlling you. And when you see them, you can transform them. So if this speaks to you, you can get that in the link in the description. I just thought it's a good transition into that. It's a free tool anyways. And apart from that, I thank you for your time. I thank you for listening. Let me know how this was for you in the comments. Let me know if this is something you're struggling with. Also, if you have other things you want me to talk about, let me know in the comments too. And again, you're whole and complete as you are. You have something great inside of you. Just allow yourself to work with your source and put that out without the pressure of constantly feeling like you have to prove yourself. Because then everything becomes more enjoyable. I'm Law Heru, and this is The Way of Law. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your time. One love.